now I'm aware that this is important. So now I can be more mindful of what I do and how I do it. So I will say that, again, in my case, I naturally have a lot of energy. And that's, by the way, that's our sexual energy. So people who have unlocked sexual energy, they will naturally be more vital because sexual energy is the life force energy.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Speaking Skills, the interview series, of course. And today, I have a special guest, and I would say special because she really talks about something that is not something that most people talk about on a daily basis like she does. Without further ado, Magda, I think you should introduce yourself and, well, tell us your name and what do you do?
Hey everyone, and thank you so much for having me. So my name is Magda Kay, and I am intimacy coach, which basically means that I help people enjoy the most fulfilling intimate life, meaning their intimate relationships, love relationships, and their sexuality. So yes, I do talk about sex every single day, and practically any conversation I have with my friends in public always ends talking about sex. But like we said, I understand this is not very common. So I am quite special here, I would say. Okay.
But it's kind of easy to start a conversation, right?
You know what? I do have to say that, yes, you think of like, the small talk that people do, right? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? And so I get asked these little questions and I'm like, well, so what is it that I do? And it's good at breaking ice. So let's say this. Yes, for sure.
So can you tell about how you got started with this? Did you wake up one morning and said, this is what I want to do? Or was it like a longer process?
I was actually writing something for my social media today, explaining my journey. And honestly, like if you knew me 10 years ago, you would never think that I would go in this direction. That's not anything that I could ever imagine because I used to be super shy. I didn't know how to flirt. Like I was so uncomfortable when I was getting attention. I had my blockages. I was like, woof. And then here I am talking about it and feeling actually extremely comfortable. So it's not that I just talk. I talk about it because something shifted inside of me. And that happened for two reasons. The first one is that I was always very sexual. I always had a lot of energy. And now in the field that I work with, like Tantra and energy healing, we recognize different types of energies. And I simply naturally in this life have a lot of sexual energy. So it's always been a very natural place for me to be in. But I didn't know how to manage this energy because that energy brings a lot of attention from other people. And I needed to learn how to navigate it. So one thing, it's like karmically, you could say like everything was taking me in that direction to be here. And then the second reason we could say is that I had my own sexual blockages that I needed to go through. So that's what motivated me to go into sexual tantra and those sexual healing practices. And so eventually, once I worked on myself and learned all the tools with my own energy, just made perfect sense to go and do this for a living.
So today you would help people with specifically, or who mostly?
I work both with men and women. In fact, until now, I've predominantly worked with men. And this is quite beautiful, I would say, because not many people in my field or not many women in my field feel safe and comfortable doing this work with men. So they usually focus on women to women practices. And so it doesn't matter if you're single or in a relationship. And I work with all types of relationships. So even if it's an open relationship, triadas, like any non-monogamous relationship as well, I will work with any type of partnership. So at the end of the day, every human being, once we are sexually active, like sex is a part of our life, right? It's like even if you're blocked, even if you're single, even if you're celibate, the energy is still inside of your body, right? So it's true for everyone. So anyone who wants to experience better intimate life, these are the people I work with. So it's a common thing for people to be like, okay, I want to have a better physical health, right? And we go into the gym and we do certain things to enjoy better physical health or to look better. If you want to make more money, again, we know what we need to do, right? We invest in new skills. We maybe start a business. We do something. And with sexuality and intimate relationships, we have this honesty bullshit idea that it's something natural. If it was natural, we wouldn't have 50% rate, like divorce rate, right? If it was natural, we would all be happy in relationships and having great sex, which is not the case. And so it's like any other area. It's, you know, if you want to have great results, you have to dedicate time, money, energy, learn new skills, practice, expand, you know, just like anything else. So if someone has this understanding, then they're open to really, really change things.
So can you talk about a bit more how you got started? Because one thing is that you changed your direction, or you found your direction, but right now you seem a bit more established. You don't look like someone who just started their business 1 week ago. And one of the things we talk to a lot is entrepreneurs. And I would consider you an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you're a coach or not, you still are solely responsible for your business.
Mm.
So can you explain a bit about your starting process, how it was to start into something new, something not so well known, maybe?
So, you know, because this is how I look at life. So I will say that again, energetically, if you look at my astrological chart, like I am meant to do my own thing. And I am very success driven, or I'm very ambitious. So this is the quality that was present in me since I was a kid. I always wanted to have my own business. I never wanted to have anyone like above me, because I do not take orders very well. I do not have a lot of respect for authorities. But you know, like most people, that was my path. And then I ended up in the company when, you know, which many of you may know, called Mindvalley. And the thing about this company was that it was a digital marketing company. So I learned lots of skills there. But also at that time, it was like 60 people in the company. So it was a proper startup with a very different culture. And so the founder, Vishen Lakiani, he actually was really investing in us. And he was saying at that time that he wants us to quit Mindvalley to start our own business. So we were encouraged, not pushed, but definitely encouraged to do this. And I think it was because of that environment that I finally believed that I can do it. And I learned all the skills that I needed to start an online business. There were incredible people working for this company. So like, I honestly had people show me like, okay, this is how you build your own website. This is how you create, you know, how you start all of your things. Because I'm not technical at all. Like, keep in mind, the tech team was complaining about me, like in Mindvalley, right? So I am not technical, but I was exposed to amazing people, visionaries, and like entrepreneurial spirits. So they guided me at the beginning, and I'm so grateful for that. And basically what started happening is, as you know, I was getting annoyed that I cannot execute my own ideas, because, you know, you have a boss and there is a company and the things that the company wants to do. So I started my own blog, and it was called Psychology for Marketers. Horrible name, way too long, but I was like, that's a keyword. It's not, by the way, it's not. But I started this blog, and basically it was about just giving advice to marketers, like how to use psychology for marketing, literally the way that the name says. And then it kind of shifted a little bit into like lifestyle advice, sort of like Mary Forleo type of a business. And I was very consistent. I was doing videos once a week. Even when I was in a hostel, I would find a corner and still record a video. And I think I did it for maybe 2 years or something like this. And I was getting some clients for individual coaching, like business coaching. And then I got inspired because of my breakup. I got inspired to start a new blog called Brave Bell. And I was sharing a lot of articles about the process of healing your heart. And that became extremely popular. Like, it was something that, you know, at that time, especially, no one was talking about. So women really picked it up. So now I have these two, you know, blogs, totally not related. And I'm thinking, what do I do with this? And I was going deeper into these concepts of femininity and energy healing. And this is when I started doing my trainings on energy work. And I was like, goodness, how do I combine these two? And eventually I got to the place where I realized that I don't want to do business coaching anymore. Like, I still, by the way, occasionally do this on the side because I like it, but that's not my core in no way. That's maybe like 5% of what I do. So that Psychology for Marketers blog is still there. Like, I do not touch it, and I still get like 10,000 unique visits every month, but I do not even touch the website. It's probably broken in many places. And then I just, moved all, like my Facebook, my YouTube, all of those channels, I moved them under now my brand, Magda Kay, right? So I have Brave Bell, Psychology for Marketers, Magda Kay, and I just basically pushed the business one to the side, which, by the way, I think, because a lot of people were asking me about like starting my own business, and I was like, you will never know right away the right topic you want to go into. So just start creating. And it was a very difficult, but also a pivotal moment to decide that I'm not going to touch the website anymore, even though I got like thousands of subscribers to my YouTube channel. And again, like 10,000 unique views, like 3 years after I decided to kill the website, right? So it was a successful thing that I simply decided not to touch anymore and focus on something else. But I just learned so much. And so then I started, building Brave Bell and doing online courses and sharing content. And it just started growing, growing, growing. And I started getting clients through word of mouth, and also my, YouTube videos. And the funny thing is, by the way, some of the clients who have like done the most work with me and paid me the most, so I still have my old, Psychology for Marketers videos on my channel, and they found me through those, because there's some videos that have like 300,000 views. And so they found me through those videos, and then they're like interested in more, and they see, oh, now you do this. So they contact me for the work, on sexuality, even though they initially found me through business. So it's also interesting how all of these things, how they play out and connect.
Yeah, that's amazing. Also, that I would say it's a very brave decision. Just go and say, hey, I'll go and focus on this because I really love it, even though I have success on this as well. That's, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, they have this, that I have this and this, and then they really don't make a decision like you did, where they just are split in their focus, and then they really don't achieve that greatness they could.
I do think it's a very individual thing, but I will say that, I mean, I've heard it from people, like I'm really good at marketing. I understand it. So I could still be giving consultations and probably make really a lot of money, because it's essentially telling you how to make more money. This is, we all know, this is the industry that will make us most money. But the thing is, it's like, when there's this, when you're being pulled towards the direction of something that like, you are meant to do. And once again, I'm going to go back to like my mindset. Like this is exactly my energy. It's perfectly aligned with who I am. And any type of reading, whether it was astrology, karmic reading, human design, which are different types of like personality checks in the spiritual world, not the business world, they all say the same, that I am meant to be a teacher and that I am meant to talk about sex and relationships. And so I get this confirmation that this is really what I am here to do. And together with this, I learn. Because it's also, I'm still working on these aspects in my personal life. So it feels like I love doing this, and it just feels super natural to me. So it comes easy, it just comes easy.
How about making videos? Was this natural, or was it a process?
In a way, both. So I I love being on stage and getting attention. And when I was a child, I was often on TV. I was performing, I was dancing. So I always liked that. But specifically being on camera, it wasn't something that I was very used to. So I remember, and probably those videos are somewhere on my YouTube channel if you scroll all the way back. So basically what I'm doing is like, I'm recording, most of the videos at the beginning, I recorded through QuickTime on my computer. So I'm sitting in front of my computer, and I would literally be the way I am now, right? That would be the position, because I would have my my notes, what I'm talking about, and I would have it right under the camera. So I'm sitting like this, and using my mouse to scroll down, and I'm like reading everything reading while trying to look at the camera. So it looked very stiff. And then yes, the more videos that I started doing, I was like, okay, now let's use bullet points and just talk about it, and just became more and more natural. Although what you're probably already seeing, I love talking. So my challenge is that I just end up, like, my videos end up being too long, and so maybe I should go back to scripting them. So I do a mix, but yeah, I feel super confident, and practically every video I record, it's just the first take.
But
Like,
I actually love the way that you said that in the beginning you were all up in front, and it was not easy, because I think that marks a very important point, that the first videos will always suck. And I think it's fear of failure that a lot of people have, especially because I was like you. I had no problems with going on stage. Now, I didn't dance or sing, but I was doing other stuff where I had to perform, where I had to do presentations. I loved it. The more people, the more energy I would get. But when I watch videos in the beginning, when I first started making videos, they're horrible. It's You're thinking, why did I do that? And by the way, I think you should keep, but that's just my honest and my subjective opinion. You should keep doing videos like you do right now, and not scripted. I love that it's not scripted. I think it gives some depth of authenticity. It just makes it so much more real, and it's so more connectable. And that is actually my next question, because one of the reasons that you caught my attention is none of the things that you normally do. It's more the presentation style. Now, I know it's something that you also developed, but still, I love, and so the audience also knows, I love your presentation style, because you do something that's called high energy, but in a very subtle way. You have a very unique and a way of presenting where you feel so much energy, but it's not because you're screaming, you're not moving around like a crazy person. No, you're very calm, collected, and you just have smile because you have like an aura around you. You have this like, if there was light around you, there would be. but,
thank you.
but the thing is that you just deliver something that's just so impacting that you immediately get, oh, wait a minute, I need to watch this person. They have something important to say. And it's without really overdoing any of the techniques a lot of people use, like screaming, moving too fast, or moving too much. No, it's calm and collected, but still great presence. Now, can you tell about how you did it and what goes through your mind before you start a video?
Well, I'll start by saying thank you for this feedback, because now I do not take like criticism very easily, so I don't really ask for feedback because I'm not ready to hear it. So I don't receive a lot of feedback, whether it's positive or negative, just because I'm like, I don't want to know anything. So it's nice to hear this. I will tell you that last year, when the whole pandemic started, I was invited to speak at a lot of online festivals, a lot of tantra festivals. And so we're talking, really reaching out to like, tens and hundreds of people listening to you. And I really indeed got a lot of feedback from people saying that you're the most energetic teacher of all the people at this festival. And it got me really thinking that, okay, because, again, it's just a little bit natural. This is natural for me to be like this. But when I become aware that, okay, this is what people notice, and that's what makes people want to stick and watch and listen to my workshops and participate. So now I'm aware that this is important. So now I can be more mindful of what I do and how I do it. So I will say that, again, in my case, I naturally have a lot of energy. And that's, by the way, that's our sexual energy. So people who have unlocked sexual energy, they will naturally be more vital, because sexual energy is the life force energy. So that's like one thing, right? So yes, I kind of naturally have that, I would say. But even if you don't, right, it's about working with your energy to kind of get you to this place, because we all have access to our life force energy. It's about how we use it, whether it's open or not, whether it moves or not. So for most of us, this energy is stagnant and does not move. And think about your physical life. Like, do you move a lot in your physical life? Do you dance? Do you allow yourself to just move without control? Do you like laugh uncontrollably, right? Do you move your body, or do we sit most of the day on our chair, which is the reality for most people? So
Yes.
if your physical body is contracted, it contracts your energy as well. So this is why we talk a lot about, stretching. That's the minimum. Stretch your chest so that you can open all of these energy centers, but also like your lungs, so that your voice sounds differently. We know from all the acting classes, you can start activating your voice. Just basically talk for like 30 seconds before you start recording, because it takes time for the muscles to warm up and for the sounds to come at a certain level. You can also, like, one of the things I really love doing is playing one of my favorite songs and just dancing to that song. Like it's no more than 5 minutes, right? But you're dancing and you're just having so much fun. And like I love 80s, so I play some of the 80s songs, and then like they're really like pumping, right? And then I'm just feeling so excited, you know. And so you can do these little things to hype your energy right before recording. But I will say that my personal view is that if you really want to have a lot of this energy on videos, then you really want to bring that energy in your daily life. Like if you don't care about it, you know, and then suddenly you're meant to record and now you need to bring it up, it's gonna be super difficult. And so look at your daily life. How could you bring more fun and excitement and be more like, you know, like a child, not childish, but childlike, you know,
Yes.
to just do things that you really love. Like for me as a woman, and so I'm pretty sure for the women listening, I actually love dressing up and going out. I love getting the attention and like flirting with people because this opens my sexual energy, right? It's the sexual energy. It's, remember, that's your vitality. So allow yourself to flirt with people. Like even if you're in a relationship, like go out and just like look at someone. Allow someone to look at you, you know, just like let this game of the polarity of the masculine and feminine, allow that in your life with anyone, because it doesn't have to be sexual. And you'll see how everything is more juicy. And then you become more juicy. And it really shows through the screen as well.
I love everything you said. I agree with so much of it. And some of the things we even teach in our more advanced course, we talk about all the things that you talked about before you record. But I think one of the most important things, if you say, okay, I don't want to be so technical, I don't want to do all these exercises, I think the most important thing you said right there was this thing that you allow yourself to be more energetic in reality, in life. So it just becomes, because that seems to be the answer to the question, that it's just part of who you are now. That right now you have all this high energy and it just transmit on camera, even though you tone it. It seems to me that after what I hear right now, that you even tone it down, but it still comes out very energetic, and because of all the things that you do and your philosophy just comes out. I think a very good point is that you said try to make your life more of a sunshine. That's my words, of course. And I think that's a very important part of it, because of course if you're all day low energy, not much moving around or not smiling that much, suddenly you have a camera up your face and to start smiling.
Yeah.
And actually, this was not a question I prepared, but it's one of the things that I keep thinking every time I see you now on the screen and also your videos, the smile. It was my personal biggest obstacle when I was filming. People said, you need to smile more. I was like, what do you mean? I'm smiling. I'm smiling. No, you're not smiling. Can you talk a bit about this, like how you would approach it to someone who maybe has high energy, but not the highest? What would
Um,
be your advice, like shortly? Because I actually have a more important question for you.
you know, and again, with the smile, I actually often hear from people in like daily situations, like, why are you smiling all the time? It's like people feel uncomfortable with the fact that I'm just happy. I mean, I would say I am generally a happy person. Not to say that I'm always happy and that I don't, like, I've gone through depression and everything. So it's not about this, but all in all, like my life is very interesting. And so I really enjoy my life. And so you see this, I express my excitement. uh, I can really find the joy in little things. So when you're actually happy about something, it's like the smile is just natural. And especially in terms of like videos, I love it. Like I said at the beginning, I've always loved being on stage, being on, you know, in front of the camera and getting the attention. It's something that feeds me. So that's what I'm tapping into. Like I do lots and lots of interviews that like literally probably have nothing to do with my business and are not going to bring me clients simply because I love it. So again, this is something that brings me a lot of joy and fun. So I would say, you know, and the smile needs to come out naturally. Like if you're trying, so this is what we will talk about today, you know, that's not the same. So again, like you were saying before, you know, adding sunshine to your daily life. So I would say here, add sunshine to making videos. Like make sure you enjoy it. If you actually genuinely enjoy making videos, it will show. That if you're getting nervous and stressed and you're like, oh my God, I have to do a video or speak on stage, then again, this is what you're projecting. So you really want to find And whatever it is for, each person, maybe it's just the simple fact that you're being challenged. Like a lot of people get satisfaction from being challenged and learning a new skill and stepping outside of the comfort zone, right? So maybe this is it. You have your first video and it gets like a lot of likes and comments. Maybe this is what will drive you. Again, for me, like I'm getting clients, I'm getting lots of positive feedback. I love that. It fills me up. So I have lots of reasons why I really enjoy doing this. And so again, for me, it's a joy to record videos. It's not something that I have to do. And that's what shows.
And I'm loving this part because this is where I'm asking you the question. You just launched a product. Can you speak about basically if people want to find you and the product you wanted to, or that you just launched recently?
Sure. I'm currently still in the launch process for a new container. This is for women. And it's called Venus Codes. And so I'm going to take a little step back. For whoever who may have heard people in a similar field to me, we talk so much about the feminine versus masculine energy. And the concept is really powerful and very needed. Like, for example, when we talk about being on camera, there's two specific aspects of these energies that we want to use to get people to watch us. So one, you need the masculine energy because that's the energy that goes out, right? If you're only in the feminine, you're actually pulling energy inside and you're becoming a little bit invisible, or you may. But the masculine is the energy that goes out, right? So we want to be able to tap into this aspect. But then also we want to use the charming of the feminine, right? Again, this is the radiance that both men and women have. You're just like irresistible. You're so enchanting. So these concepts are very important. Unfortunately, what happens these days, because everyone has access to internet, everyone can start a YouTube channel and a blog, is that these concepts have been taken and simplified. So you have a lot of people who have not actually initiated to those teachings, and they just repeat the same thing that you will find online. And what's happening today is that the way we talk about is actually really disempowering, especially to women. Now, men are disempowered in your own unique way. And this is exactly why I also love working with men, because you have your own series of challenges. Like basically the feminine is rising at your expense. Like you're dealing with lots of things, right? So it's not about being against men. It's not this at all. You have your own challenges. It's just that this training specifically is for women to look at our challenges, because the feminine, the way it's expressed in women, has been suppressed, and it's still being suppressed in very subtle ways, but it still is. And so this is about helping women understand how to actually embody this energy, but from the place of empowerment, because the way we usually tell women to be feminine is be soft and gentle and flowy and allow men to lead you and all of these things. And I'm like, this is not what the feminine is. Like, I'm a businesswoman. I drive a motorcycle. I do CrossFit every morning, and I still am very feminine, right? And so it's about showing a different angle. And because I think what's very confusing these days is that us women, we believe that to be powerful, we need to be masculine. So like in our society, there is no such a thing as powerful feminine. We have women who are in their masculine. So the question is, are you a powerful woman or are you simply in your masculine? And so what this training is about, it guides women to understand what is the actual power of the feminine, right? Without the need to step into the masculine energy, which we can, but in long term, it simply really dries our nervous system. It tires us, like we get exhausted. So we need to actually learn how to source from the feminine. And so this is what this program is about. And quite frankly, I am so excited about this. I hate saying this, but I do have to say that most of it got channeled, as in I just got inspired in meditations and getting different insights. It literally feels like it wasn't me who created it. And I know it sounds really woohoo, and I don't like saying these things, but just in this case, it honestly feels like that.
Oh, it also sounds like it's actually a product that really is needed out there, because I so much agree with your perception here that I think it is not only for women, but it's also for men, that they have identity crisis right now with what is the right man, what is the right woman. And I think especially now I come in a country where we actually have very empowered women, but it's also getting to that point where like you said, there's a big difference between empowerment and masculine women. And here we have a more like different direction where also some things, not all of it, of course, but some things you would say, I don't know if that is empowerment, but
Mhm.
more misuse of the term or a wrong concept of that idea. And but I think it goes for both ways. But of course, you're focusing on women with this particular product.
Yes, I mean, and like I understand this like a whole different topic, but like I don't believe in equality, not the way we describe it. To me, women and men were different, and there's certain some things that men can do that I cannot, and some things that we can do but you cannot.
Yeah.
So it's not about being treated equally because we're not equal. We're different. It's about being treated fairly. So it means about my ability to understand that there are areas where I am not the strongest and I need help. And it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me or that I am not deserving or worthy. And at the same time, it's about me being able to truly appreciate and value the unique gifts that I have as a woman. Because unfortunately, we live in times when if a woman says that she wants a family and kids, we look at her as like, oh, you're like brainwashed, probably, you're not ambitious, like all of these things. And I'm like, it's not to say that every woman needs to have a family, but if you think about it, like to have a child, you go through pregnancy of 9 months when your body does not belong to you. And then you dedicate years of your life to nurture a new baby. And I'm like, and that's not ambitious. But we live in times that do not make space for this. We don't talk about menstrual cycle. Like women, when we bleed, we should actually take rest. We should be able to take time off work and the gym without having to pay for these things, right? Because now we rest so that our freaking species can survive, and it's not what's happening, right? So there's a lot of there's a lack of appreciation of what it is truly that women can bring into the society, because we've all been conditioned that this is worthless, that this is not special. And so both men and women believe this, and because we kind of rejected the feminine gifts, both men and women believe that the masculine is the only way to be. And so you have, women trying to be like men. But here is the thing. This is if you have women later going on camera, that's how they project themselves. They stand there and they try to be extremely masculine. And this is not attractive. Because again, you need to be listened to be respected, you need the masculine energy. So this is the outgoing energy, the yang. But if you want to charm your audience, whether you're a man or a woman, this is the feminine. The charming is the feminine. Look at your relationships, right? Who's the one charming whom?
Yeah.
Right? So if we don't know how to play with these energies for everyone, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities online.
Yeah, I really love the way that you said we need to be treated fair, because we're all different, and that's the thing, is we have to have not equality but fairness. And if people wanted to find more about you, I know where, but I want you to say it. Like, what website should they go to?
But first, come to Bali, because that's where I am right now, and you can meet me here. But online, you can find me, of course, through all of the social media. So you can go to Instagram and search Magda Kay Official. So it's Magda Kay, K spelled Kay. The same on YouTube. You can just search Magda Kay, and I should be maybe not the only one, but probably one of the top. Same on Facebook. I think these days I'm mostly active on Instagram. I haven't posted a video, like videos to YouTube in a while, but exactly, I ordered new lights. I have my camera to get back to this. So there will be more, but I'm very, very active on Instagram these days. And of course, yes, go to my website, magdakay.com. Email me at info@magdakay.com. And if anyone is watching this and you guys are interested in anything that we discussed, just like send me a note saying, oh, I saw you, in that interview, so that I know where you're coming from. And we can chat more. Yeah.
And we will put actually links up point here.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
there will be
so
links so people can see it, and in case they didn't write it down. But it's always nice to hear you say it. And if people want to contact any collaborations that you're particularly interested in or open for.
you know what? I don't know. As in, like even when you reached out to me, right? It's not something I would think about, but I was very excited to do it. So I'm very open. Like you never know. Sometimes we have an idea of how we wanna where we wanna go, and then a new opportunity comes in, and you're like, that actually is amazing. I want to do that. So I'm open for all amazing opportunities of collaboration.
Great. Well, then the doors are open. So, last advice you would give the audience, like if they want to start making videos or if they're not secure enough, like you said it, but like some last advice.
Yeah. I think honestly, the most important aspect is really enjoy what you're doing. And if you don't feel comfortable for now in front of the camera, then you're probably not fully enjoying this because you know that, that's not your comfort zone, right? But even the best actors, they had to learn. Like we all know the stories, like, all of the actors who have won Oscars, if you go back to the beginnings, they sucked. They actually suck. Like I think that may be a good a practice for someone to do. Like Google, for example, like the first videos of George Clooney. He had this one movie about tomatoes attacking the town. It was absolutely horrible. But this is how everyone started. So even if you have natural talent, you're still meant to use the talent and train. And if you don't have the talent, you can still train. You don't have to be the best. There's no such a thing as the best. What you want to be is what you mentioned, yourself. Like find the joy, practice. And the moment you don't feel shy in front of the camera, this is when your true personality will show. Because that's what people want to see. And you probably have heard it before, but it's true, right? So keep practicing so you feel comfortable in front of the camera. This will allow you to enjoy it because now you have successes. And this is when you're tapping into your own natural radiance to be charming and interesting to your audience.
Yeah, and I would actually like to add as well in the things that you said, that when Magda's saying that you want to be your true self, because a lot of people hear that and they say, "What do you mean?" And what she said there, or at least what I heard, is that you need to practice until you reach the form that you can perform naturally on camera as you do in real life. Because she's not talking about that you need to become someone else that you're not. It's actually quite the opposite. But a lot of people get afraid of the camera, so you just need to rehearse to the point where you become yourself in front of the camera. I hope I interpreted that correctly.
Yes, and if I may add to this one, so look, I would have phases when I'm binging on someone's YouTube channel. I just fall in love with their content and I just watch lots and lots of videos. And especially if it's a woman, I've noticed that in the past, when I was recording my videos, my style of talking would change because I would start copying the person that I was watching. And it's good and bad, as in you don't want to be copying anyone, but it's like trying on different outfits until you find your own. So that's also a good idea at the beginning. Watch other people. Like if you like someone's videos, watch them a lot and you'll notice that you're naturally copying them in your own videos. So see, and later after a while, you'll notice, oh wait, that's not actually me. But you're going to keep something from that style. Something that resonated with you is going to stay with you. And you will naturally let go of the rest. And then watch someone else. And again, you will naturally copy what they do. After some time you will stop copying, and it's like unconscious that it happens, but you're going to pick some elements from different people, but you're only keeping with yourself what is true to you. So it's like you're using other people to help you find your unique way of speaking and being.
Thank you. I think you were so spot on there. I couldn't, well, I could say it differently, but not better. Magda, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for for giving so much advice and open up to who you are and what you do. It was amazing stuff, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Thank you so much for having me.
So everyone, thank you for watching. This was everything for today. Cheers.